Okay.
We ready?
Yeah, this is
fun.
This is a major departure from our normal format. Yeah.
It's very comfy. Welcome, everybody.
Nice.
And
oh my goodness,
it's nice to not have you running in on your lunch break.
No, this is very comfortable. At the
Now you have to go home though.
Yeah, I gotta get out of here soon. No, I got a little bit of time.
All right.
Because I'm not gonna be.
We're having a beer.
Anyway, fuss. Yeah. Cheers. Yeah.
We got a lot to talk about.
We do. I guess
we wanted to answer some questions that we've gotten on YouTube.
How long has Acoustic Letter been going?
Oh man, that's
from the very inception.
6 years, maybe.
6 years. Wow.
Yeah, I'd say somewhere around there.
Okay.
And
okay, so it started off. Now, remind me, 6 years ago. We're talking 2013ish, and but it's evolved a long way. Now, so we get a question frequently, right, about one of the first and really like an icon of the original Acoustic Letter, Tony Policastro.
Yeah,
and so
there's
he was
here
right here. Yeah, where's Tony? We get that. We still get that question.
Right, where's Tony? And why is he always asking to download his gear list?
That's the question. But anyway, this is what I could say. So Tony and I have played in a couple bands, off and on a little bit with local acoustic bands. He's a really talented dobro player, guitar player, multi-instrumentalist, and he looks cool. Credit where credit is due. That Tony was really instrumental in just creating. Helping to
he was our first web presence that we know. And we had been working on it even before Tony came in. We had no idea what we were doing until trial and error and doing all kinds of things. Tony now is doing online lessons and he has a whole nother channel.
He's crushing it. And I think when you first invited me to come and just play, and I'm just a casual weekend warrior picker who loves playing and love.
By the way, we play together in a band.
We do. We'll get to that, but it was a little intimidating coming with Tony because he is so articulate. He's got this great character.
He's got a beautiful beard.
Oh my gosh, he's got
And you look. But that's okay.
Hey, Tony's doing great. He's
doing great. They have a great web show.
What's it called? The Acoustic Life.
Yep.
Right.
And they do lessons and all kinds of stuff.
Got great
Let me
players.
answer this real quick.
You bet.
They asked, why is he asking to download his gear list? At one point, a lot of people wanted to know what Tony used. And we had this stuck embedded in the YouTube video.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it says, click here to download his gear list.
Okay.
We can't get rid of it.
Okay, so it's like a technical...
It's just there.
It's
all right?
In a technical, not IT, but we would call it's vestigial.
Yes.
It's a vestigial piece of the YouTube.
See, I don't have these big words like you. All I do is I'm a drummer in a guitar player's world, and I'm just,
No, but you know guitar.
Let's talk about what you are. Tell everyone.
Okay. Yeah, so there is some question. Yeah, people ask all the time.
What do you do? Here's the question. What does Quinton do for a living?
Okay, so that's a long story. But I grew up in Maryland. I graduated with less than a 1.8 or something. I skimmed by. And then as much as I did not attend high school and barely scraped by, I spent the next about 20 years in college. Because
I remember that.
Yeah, once I started actually learning, I realized, gosh, I love this. And it's so much better than working for a living. Going to school and just being a perpetual student. So
I remember when you moved to Bozeman, I first met you. I'm like, this guy has been going to school for 20 years now.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
And then we started playing in bands together.
Yeah, I studied biology, went on and got, a master's, and then eventually what brought me to Bozeman was the doctoral program here at Montana State University. So I came here, and after an undisclosed amount of years, more than I should have taken, I got that degree.
Yep.
But that happened to coincide with 2008, the crash, the economy, and I was like, gosh, what am I going to do? Bozeman was not the easiest place to live in, so I was like, all right, what do I do best? I go back to school.
You're already a doctor.
Yeah.
You're Dr. Q.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you just decide to go get a law degree.
Yeah. Yeah. So we move up to Missoula, Montana, to the other flagship university in the Montana university system, to University of Montana. I get a law degree, 3 years there. And so I do some stuff. And that's what I do now is I combine my legal training with life science background, molecular biology, immunology, stuff like that. And I work at the university here. I do something called technology transfer. And let me break that down because I think it's pretty cool. Technology transfer is when you have organizations like universities and other nonprofit research institutions who they get all this money to do experiments and to invent things and create solutions, but they don't actually make the things, right? They come up with the ideas, but they don't manufacture. So for taxpayers and everybody who's invested in these developments to get the benefit of those investments, what needs to happen is the folks who invented these pieces of intellectual property, they need to find a way to hand it off to private companies who will actually take the idea and make it into a product or service that people can buy. And that's where I come in, is I help companies and the universities and also research labs for the Department of Defense connect on and hand off these patents and other intellectual property so that we can enjoy better vaccines and electronics, cell phones, things like that. Beer. Well, I don't know that they've patented it.
All right.
Anyway, that's what I do. It's technology transfer. Love it. It's really cool.
Moved back here in 1996.
Mm-hmm.
Came back, took over at the old store downtown street, downtown there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we moved it into this location.
When
in
you say took it over, I mean that was your dad.
My dad had it. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a family tradition.
Yeah. And then we moved it in here in '99
to the current location.
Yep.
And this is not what it used to look like.
We did a little remodel.
You've done some
recently.
substantial updates.
Yep.
I think again, I always go back to the one interview you had with Daryl Scott playing Pagriba guitars, and he said, "Yeah, come to Musicville. It's a destination guitar store." In other words, meaning if you are a guitar nut, you love acoustic guitars, this should be on your vacation list, at least a stop in Bozeman on the way to wherever your place is, to just come in and you will be fully entertained for hours.
Loaded with guitars.
Oh my gosh.
Sure.
We should do a walk around.
We will. We'll do a walkthrough. Let's go to another question.
Let's do a question. Yeah.
Nice playing as usual, Quinton. What bands you play with?
One of my first bands was a Rush cover band.
Love it.
It was
I would love to see that and see a recording of that.
No, it was humiliating. I played with this.
Go ahead and try to start your first band as a Rush cover
Yeah, sure,
band.
why not? You playing with this Prodigy drummer kid and this good dude that was just, they studied Rush, broke it down. And the guitar player was like, this is what the bass line does on this and that. And so I got that background. It really forced me to learn some scales and get some dexterity playing bass. And then the next bands I played in were country bands.
Yep.
So I went from fancy Geddy Lee stuff to 1/5 bounce, simple stuff.
And then what would you call our little band?
Well, when I got out here, realized, first I started playing bluegrass because I was going to school, and I discovered this. I think what I like about bluegrass and acoustic music in general, particularly bluegrass, is that there's a defined song list, kind of, in certain areas, and it's very participatory. It's very community based.
Yeah.
So you create these.
Well, and around here you can make money too. You can go play at the ski hills.
There is that too, but at first it really was just, I didn't know any bluegrass songs. So I met some friends and we were just playing, and they were running through these things. So I learned some bluegrass tunes, and then eventually that evolved into a bluegrass band, and then having met you and a few other folks, I kind of transitioned back and forth between playing acoustic bluegrass to doing a little Telecaster, some kind of I don't know. I would call us. One of the band we play in a band that has many names.
Know our name.
We don't have a
we
name.
Don't know
Make it up on the day of. But
it's cool. Quinton plays Telecaster.
We do kind of country stuff.
I play drums, and we have a stand-up bass player.
Yeah, it's
country, rockabilly, bluegrass.
I'd say,
it's everything.
Everything will end up
it's
having
good dancing though.
A little twangy
and you sing
sound.
Everything. It's great.
You're very generous. Calling it singing. But
we'll have to find some footage.
So
we're too lazy to even
that's
have
fine.
Footage or promotional materials.
We'll
or
get it
anything.
out. This is what I could say is I've played with two drummers in my life that were actual metronomes, and Paul is the second one. The first one was probably one of my greatest musical mentors as a bass player, and he was like my Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
But you are the only other drummer that I've had the pleasure of playing with that. And no offense to any of the drummers that I've ever played with that might be watching this, but
you never play with drummers anyway.
That's why I play bluegrass, is because I don't want to be bothered with the drummers.
Like bluegrass guys, they never want a drummer.
Well, and same with wasn't Oscar Peterson the one who got rid of his drummer?
I don't know.
Tired of it. Anyway,
But well, thank you.
Paul is
try
a
to pride
phenomenal
myself
drummer.
on-
And what I think is amazing is knowing his background as like this glam hair rock drummer.
I did that for some time.
Yeah, he shows up with the absolute minimal set. It's a bass drum, a snare drum, hi-hat, and usually just
cymbal.
one cymbal. Yeah.
Yeah. What happened to Quinton's quick licks?
Oh, okay. Well, so I think
did happen.
they're sitting on the back burner. I think and I think we'll do a little walk around the store. I think one of the issues is that we're both a couple of
We work for a living.
working schmoes, so our time has been limited. This is the first opportunity we've gotten outside of a lunch break
Yeah.
to really just come in and try and.
But we're gonna try. You're gonna try. I know people want more of your licks.
Get back to those, but it's really just a matter of time, and the priority has always been trying to cover as much ground and present as broad a sampling as possible within the limited time and space that we have. So that's
basically.
we will
the
get back to
reason.
those, but yeah.
Yes.
as well.
Is a domestic guitar better than an overseas-made guitar?
Absolutely. God
for
bless
sure.
America.
For sure. I mean, no matter
It's a
what.
short
Now, don't get
answer.
me wrong. The
Yeah.
overseas stuff is so good, but when you buy an American-made guitar, for the most part, you're buying a piece of, something that's just gonna
So I'm going to
pass down
respectfully.
from generation to generation.
I'm going to respectfully. My first answer was said with a degree of sincerity, like buy American. We've got Gibson here in town. These are friends and neighbors.
Yeah.
We know where they come from. It definitely puts money back into our local economy. But the other part of my brain is going to say, listen, at the end of the day, play the guitar,
Yeah.
listen to it. It doesn't matter where it comes from.
Right. Can you get a guitar from overseas that's as good as an American? Yes.
Yeah, the short answer is yes.
Is it going to be a historical piece of
Will it have
memorabilia for the rest of your
these
life?
other levels of value? Likely not.
Cool. Okay. What strings do you use in your demos?
Well, it depends, right? Because it depends on
What
the
that
maker.
manufacturer put on their
Right.
guitar.
They all come with some type of stock string and gauge that the maker has chosen based on what they think complements their guitar.
Yeah.
And to my knowledge, you don't go and mess with that.
Every once in a while, it depends. Sometimes we restring stuff just because it needs it, or it's just not a good string, or it just doesn't sound good.
Or because it's been played so much that.
But it's a good point. Maybe we should try to mention what strings are on these guitars when we do our videos. So, Quinton, will you ever Skype lessons?
Again, it falls back to time.
I mean, you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're a guitar demo guy, you have children, you have a life.
Here's my thoughts.
Can you do Skype lessons?
I likely cannot. And there's a couple good reasons why I would suggest I'm not the best teacher. Quick licks, things like that. I would love to provide a little something like that. But the truth is, there's so many great free resources on YouTube that you can, depending on where you're at in your arc of learning, you can go get free stuff all day. If you're looking for one-on-one teaching, Skype is great, and there are great Skype teachers. But I would offer that, depending on your location, unless you're
try to find a
very
local
remote
teacher.
Try and find a local person. And if you don't even have a teacher per se, just find somebody who is maybe at your level, preferably a little bit better than you. Not like a virtuoso, but a little bit better, and just play songs. That's where I learned. Shout out, if he ever watches this, to Derek Hegner, who was the guy that I sat and played rhythm for many, many, many hours while he practiced his Stevie Ray Vaughan chops. I just got a text from my wife.
You did?
Yeah, she's asking me, where the hell are you?
I know. We got to go. I got to go.
We should wrap it up. This is, I like this. I like the conversation. I think we should do it. Maybe not.
We could probably go on for like hours, especially with your
yeah.
brilliant brain.
Oh, you're so full of crap, but that's all right. Thank you.
Well, we'll do it again. It's been
cheers.
fun.
This is nice.
We'll try to answer more questions and what else?
I don't know. I think we'll pick this back up. We'll continue the conversation. Just a quick thank you to the folks who have been, I'll just say, so supportive. I read the comments. I try and engage. I know the other folks. I know Paul does. I know Destin does, who's behind the camera right now helping us get all these things out. Let me put it this way. We're not in it for the money. this is a labor of love. This takes a lot of time, and maybe it would be good if we invested more forethought into what we did. But at the end of the day, hopefully what's translating through the camera is our genuine love of acoustic guitars,
Right.
our desire to help equip people out there who are watching with just a little bit more information than they started with when they come to watch the videos.
You can buy these almost anywhere. We're just trying to show you each guitar. And I thought at one point we were going to run out of guitars to do. And we have so many guitars in here to film still.
Yeah.
So we'll get after it. And we do 3 a week right now. And I don't see any end in sight.
I'm going to knock on wood because
All right.
I'm going to slam my
I just
fingers
hope
in
you
a car
just
door or
keep,
something.
I just hope you keep coming down here and
I will.
filming these for us.
As long as you provide beer and a cushy couch.
Yep, you got it.
I'll be
Quinton,
here.
thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Hopefully we answered some questions, and we will try to listen to anything you've suggested.
Yeah.
Visit us at musicvilla.com and
Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button.
yeah.
Leave some comments. Tell us what you want to see.
Yeah.
Let's make it more
We'll try.
interactive.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You bet.
See y'all.